Alright, so today we're going to harvest our garlic scapes. These are from garlic from Hardneck varieties that produce a central stalk which goes straight up and then usually makes one or two loops. As you can see, ours have made about one loop right now. The garlic top is usually called a scape, which contains a bulge where the bulbous will form. I have found that these scapes will form about 1 month before the garlic is ready to harvest. Many gardeners simply toss these into the compost, but actually garlic scapes are both edible and delicious. Also, young garlic plants that are pulled to thinner row are referred to as grain garlic. You can use these in the same manner as you would green onions and are also excellent for eating. So green garlic is different from garlic scapes. So the standard wisdom has been that if you want all the plant's energy to go into producing a large bulb, you snip off the scape off after it has made one or two loops. This is what we will do today, but I've also read that the turban variety of weekly bolting hardneck does much better if the scape is left on until it is time to harvest the bulb. So make sure you do plenty of research on the variety of garlic that you may be growing. If you are growing the store-bought garlic at your local grocery store that you can pick up and stick in the ground, that is most likely going to be a soft neck variety which will not make these garlic scapes. I would encourage you to grow a wide variety of garlic since there is so much different garlics out there. We don't grow one variety of tomatoes, so grow a lot of different varieties of garlic. Now, these garlic scapes will be ready to harvest once they start growing. Usually the scapes, when they're just starting to poke up above the leaves, are tender enough to eat fresh. And these garlic scapes will get tougher the longer they grow. Although they twist and turn and look wonderfully exotic as they grow, they become hotter and more fibrous, requiring peeling and sometimes a gentle cooking before eating. I tend to cut mine as they're starting their first circle to get the most balanced flavor. What I use, as you can see, is some shears to cut off the scapes, but you can also snap them off with your fingers. Just be careful not to damage your plants, since they've been growing since October now. Also keep in mind that you don't have to cut all the scapes off. Your garlic will still form a bulb, it just won't get as large as it might have been. Some gardeners urge that leaving the scape on will result in a much longer storing of this garlic bulb also. And one more thing you can do is just leave one or two scapes on your plant so you know when they are ready to actually harvest. But as these garlic mature, the scapes will straighten out tall, and that is a sign that your garlic will be ready to harvest once they're straightened out and pointing straight up. So you can use this garlic scapes in many different ways. If you harvest your scapes young and tender, you can chop them up into salads or use them as a topping like scallions, but the more mature scapes can be sauteed lightly or used over pasta with eggs, mixed in your cooking greens, pickled, or pretty much any dish that would be complemented by garlic. If you've been following me for a while, you saw last year we actually grilled some of our garlic scapes, which was very delicious. But my favorite way to use them is actually to make Garlic Scape Pesto. So even if you don't grow your own garlic, you may still be able to find these garlic scapes in your local market or farm stand. But the garlic scape season is very short, so keep your eyes peeled out for the garlic scapes in late spring, or you might miss them. Scoop up more than you can use because you can always freeze them and use them for later. So let's make some Garlic Scape Pesto. Alright, let's make some Garlic Scape Pesto real quick here. We're just going to use our blender. I've washed the garlic scapes and cut them up a little bit so they're easier to process. We'll just throw those in here. And we're going to pulse that just a few minutes here just to get it going. Just to break that up a little bit, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients real quick here. We got some pine nuts. You could use pistachio or almonds or any kind of tree nut, really, whatever you like. Today I'm going to go with the pine nuts here. And we're going to add just a little bit of this Parmesan, and we'll add some more closer to the end. And I'm going to turn that on here. And we'll just tamp this down a little bit. Then I'm just going to slowly add my olive oil to here. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more of the Parmesan at the end and just blend it just gently to incorporate, so the all the cheese is not finely blended. As you can see how it looks inside there. And we'll just add a little bit to there just to finish it off. And we'll just pulse that a couple of times, and that should do it. Turn that on. And there you have it, Garlic Scape Pesto. Let's pour it out and see what it looks like. I did add a little bit of salt, a little bit of sea salt at the end also. And you could add a little bit of lemon juice if you wanted. But I'm just going to go like this here. Pour it out. And there we have it. Some very nice Garlic Scape Pesto. One thing I mentioned is you can actually freeze this stuff if you have a lot left. I'd recommend leaving the Parmesan out and add it after you thaw it out to use. This will stay good for at least a good week. So there's an idea of how to use your garlic scapes. This is really good. We'll spread on some bread, put it on some salmon, chicken. It'll go great with many things. So thanks for watching.